45 grams. That's all this mouse weighs. For context, that's the same weight as 10 sheets of computer paper, or 2 AA batteries, or 3 empty cans of soda, but not as heavy as 2 slices of cheese. More on cheese later. Released in October of 2023, Lamzu made sure to pack this mouse full of the latest features. At $93.99, we get a 28K sensor, 4K polling capability, 6 programmable buttons, 4 different colors, all packed into an ultra super light 45 gram shell, plus or minus 2 grams of course. The Lamzu Maya isn't a mouse made for the filthy casuals, but instead handcrafted for the hardcore gamer who's deeply committed to avoiding grass and mastering the art of clicking heads. And if you're a fan of super light mice, make sure to keep watching. We're giving this mouse away and I'll be giving out the details later in this video. Take your seats and get ready for the bell because we're gonna tear this thing apart and find out if it's worth your hard-earned money. Welcome to the Rage Academy. My name is Patrick. If you're new here, we regularly look at weird, interesting, and new gaming related tech. Quick disclaimer, Lamzu sent me this mouse to review but has no editorial control over my content. Everything you're about to hear are my own original thoughts. As we start the unboxing, I just want to say thank you for all the overwhelming support you've shown me over the last 11 months. There's been so many of you that leave comments that literally make my day and keep me going. Because of this community, we've hit over 1,000 subscribers, and to celebrate how awesome you guys are, I'm going to give away this mouse we're reviewing today. Thank you again for all your support, guys. It means the world to me, and I couldn't do this without any of you. As someone who's unboxed a lot of different mice, Lamzu always stands out as one of the more unique brands with their products. Their boxes open up like a book, and they always include flavor text. You'll see it says, "Since the dawn of time, humanity has craved power. Civilizations prosper and falter, the Mayans without exception. Yet the essence carries on, passed on to the next generation. Now gathered into your hands, where does the Maya lead you?" Inside the box, we'll find the Maya wireless mouse, a 2.4 gigahertz wireless USB dongle, a USB Type-C to Type-A paracord cable. These are really neat. The side that plugs into the mouse actually angles up to remove a bit of cable drag, and I hate cable drag. I don't know about you guys. That's why I like wireless mice. We also get a USB Type-A to Type-C extender, a velvet bag, rubberized grips, and a dust cover for the back of the mouse. I won't be installing any of these. I'll be putting them aside for the lucky contest winner. And my last favorite thing that they include are extra PTFE skates. The stock PTFE skates aren't as nice as Pulsar Super Glides, obviously, or anything like that, but they get the job done. Every Lamzu mouse I've unboxed so far has included extra PTFE skates, and it's something I hope catches on in the industry. I wish other mouse brands did this as well. I hope you guys are a trendsetter, sincerely. There aren't many mice in the sub 50 gram ultra super light weight class, and usually you have to make sacrifices in order to hit that target weight. With something this light, you won't see any extra premium features like an infinity scroll wheel or loads of mouse buttons. Really what you're paying for is the research and development of making this mouse so light. There are plenty of little breadcrumbs where you can tell some hardworking folks at Lamzu tried to find areas where they could shave off a gram or two off the mouse. If you flip the mouse over, you'll see how Lamzu engineered the base plate. They've evacuated as much excess material from the base that they could while retaining the rigidity and structure of the mouse. If you remember way back when we reviewed the Lamzu Atlantis Mini, one of my big complaints was the mouse creaked when I squeezed it. Well, the Maya, she don't squeak. Check it out. Oh my god, that's as hard as I can. It's not doing it, guys. Trying. So kudos to the guys at Lamzu for getting this all figured out. While we're on the subject of the Lamzu Atlantis Mini, by the way, it's very similar to the Maya in a few different ways. They're roughly the same length, width, and max height. The Atlantis Mini only weighs like 7 grams more. For all intensive purposes, the Maya is a mini form factor mouse. They don't call this mouse a mini form factor mouse anywhere on their website, but they do list the measurements. It's only a few millimeters apart, that's hundredths of an inch for my Freedom Unit friends, from the Atlantis Mini. So keep that in mind. If you're considering buying this, it's very close to a mini form factor mouse. The biggest difference between the Atlantis and the Maya is the shape. The shape of the Maya is completely symmetrical. There are no ergo bumps or anything like that. The hump of the mouse starts much closer to the middle, and there are no real extreme angles. Shape comfort is something completely subjective, so what's good for one may not be good for another. Personally, I really like this shape. It was very comfortable in my hands. This is a mouse you'll certainly have to claw grip, and I have larger hands for reference. You're not going to be palming this mouse unless you have particularly small hands, in my opinion. The shape, to me at least, honestly feels like a shorter Logitech Superlight. Here they are side by side, so you can see that the shape is pretty similar. It's just like the Superlight, just packed into a mini profile and much lighter and cheaper. So if you ever walked into a Best Buy and tried out the Logitech Superlight and went, it's just a little too big, then the Maya might be the mouse for you. This mouse retails for $93.99 versus the Superlight's whopping $159.99. By the way, if you want to see my review of the GPX 2, you can check that out right here, somewhere over here. Yeah, check it out. The paddles on the Maya are much thinner than something like the Superlight, but they have less distance to travel to achieve an actuation from the switches. Like the GPX Superlight, you have 5 reprogrammable buttons at your fingertips. Lamzu advertises 6, but the 6th button is a DPI switch located on the bottom of the mouse. By default, when you use this guy, it's going to cycle between 4 profiles, and a little LED is going to change color on the left side of the mouse under the Lamzu logo to let you know which profile you're on. So if you need 6 buttons during your gaming session, you're out of luck, because even though the DPI selector is a rebindable button, it's located on the bottom of the mouse. I'd probably recommend a different mouse if you really needed 6. But the Superlight doesn't even give you a DPI selector button, so make of that what you will. So before you watch me rip open this mouse and give you the nitty-gritty about the internals, let me tell you about our giveaway. To celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers, we're giving the Lamzu Maya away. In order to enter, make sure you're following this YouTube channel, like this video, and you join our Discord. I'll be announcing the winner on Discord, and we do a ton of fun stuff there, so make sure you join. The community actually voted on which mouse we were going to be giving away, so we actually had a few mouses up, and everybody seemed to vote for this one. So if you win it and you like it, you'll have them to thank for it. We'll be announcing the winners on June 1st on our Discord. We'll see you there. The first thing I want to draw your attention to is the PCB. You can see where Lamzu weight relieved the board and removed as much material as they could through a process I'm coining as Swiss cheesing. I told you we were going to talk about cheese. I told you, cheese. Since the bottom of the mouse is open and the board is Swiss cheese, again, that's me. You heard that here first. Any and all debris is going to find its way into this mouse. If you have a pet, you might as well be holding a vacuum cleaner, because it's only a matter of time before all the pet dander gets inside this mouse. So luckily the mouse does include a little skirt you can install to help minimize all the dander and debris you get in there. Inside the mouse, the first thing I noticed was the flagship PAW3395 sensor by PixArt. I've said this in other reviews, but it isn't exactly special that this mouse comes with a 3395. If you don't know, PixArt is a Taiwanese-based company that specializes in making microelectronics, and one of the things they manufacture is optical mice sensors. There are a ton of different brands that use this same exact sensor. Just off the top of my head, there's Pulsar, Asus, Endgame, Razer, Attack Shark, Lamzu, whatever. Attack Shark has a mouse with the sensor, and it's like $45 on Amazon. Review on that coming soon. Get subscribed. This may sound like a complaint, but it isn't. The 3395 is a very reliable sensor, and there's a reason a ton of brands use it. Its max DPI is 26K, and PixArt sensors have a neat feature called Motion Sync. Motion Sync will synchronize the mouse pulling events intelligently at the exact intervals your PC extracts information. Basically, there's going to be less variation throughout the mouse pulling events on a PixArt Motion Sync mouse. And speaking of pulling events, the 3395 is a 4K polling capable sensor. This mouse ships with a 1K polling 2.4 GHz dongle. If you want to use a 4K polling, you'll have to spend an additional $13.99 on the 4K dongle, and honestly, that's pretty reasonable. I've seen other mice with 4K dongle add-ons that sell between $20 and $25, so I think that's pretty fair. The switches are Huano pink dot mechanical switches. In case you're new to this, the super condensed difference is mechanical switches rely on two metal pieces making contact to register an actuation, while an optical switch projects a small beam of infrared light inside the switch. When you press the mouse button to register a click, the infrared light is obstructed and this counts as an actuation. I think the switches perform well and sound great. These are the same switches that were included with the Atlantis Mini, and I've had zero issues with either. One of the added bonuses of mechanical switches is that there's a ton of aftermarket support for these guys. You can pull out your current switch and replace them with literally whatever you want. There's so many options. Optical switches, as far as aftermarket support, just aren't quite there yet. The side buttons don't have any mush in them and they feel very tactile and responsive. The mouse wheel has a definitive click, which is something I approve of. I really don't like silent mouse wheel clicks. In case you're curious, this is what all the switches sound like. I haven't had any issues with the battery life. I'd say you could probably get upwards of 60 hours of battery on this mouse minimum, but that's my best guess. I was critical of this on the Atlantis Mini review, and I would really like Lamzu to list the battery time in hours on the sale page instead of battery life long. Please change this, guys. Just update it. Charging the mouse is simple enough with the USB-C interface on the front facing side, which is something I always like to see. It wasn't that long ago we were using USB Mini. I'm really glad those days are behind us. On the Lamzu website, it lists the best grip styles for this mouse as claw, fingertip, and palm. And somehow it looks like they're using the same graphic as Pulsar. Who's making your graphics? Is it the same guy? I personally disagree with the palm style grip. The only way you're going to be palming this mouse is if you have smaller hands. And again, I have larger hands. You can see it fits pretty comfortably, but it is a mini form factor in my opinion. The software is really what you'd expect. You can make all the changes you'd want and come to expect from a modern mouse. This includes, but not limited to, profiles, DPI, lift-off distance, macros, and more. If you happen to buy a Lamzu mouse and you're not happy with it, there's a 30-day return period through their website, which is pretty reasonable since there's really no way for you to try this mouse out. Lamzu warranties their mice for 1 year, so if anything breaks in that time, Lamzu will pay for shipping, and if they can't fix it, they're going to refund you the cost of the mouse. I like to see that. A lot of times we forget that the warranty is included in the price. I think the feature to price ratio on this guy is very fair. You're getting an ultra superlight mini form factor mouse for sub $100. You get as much as you would with a superlight at a $70 price difference. That's pretty big. You can almost buy two of these for one superlight. I would recommend this mouse to any friends that are looking for a really light, really fast gaming mouse in a mini form factor, and also that symmetrical form factor there, since there's no ergo humps or anything like that. Overall, it was a blast to use, and I had a lot of fun using it when I was playing Counter-Strike and Overwatch. I looked forward to nights where I got to use this mouse. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to join our Discord. I'll be announcing the winner of this mouse on June 1st. This is a fun mouse to use, let me tell you. This is a really good mouse. As always, I hope you learned something, and until next time, GG.